Well, tonight, our state is asking the feds to reconsider and open its arms to Yarnell.
Yeah, the governor says uninsured damage is well beyond what the feds realize, and rebuilding will require their help.
Such disaster relief would do so much for Arizona, not the least of which is help homeowners who lost everything.
We're told covering the uninsured losses and a complete rebuild of the water system would be less than $20 million. But the governor says the state shouldn't have to use its hefty reserves. She says we all pay taxes to the federal government, and what happened in Yarnell is a disaster. Tonight, ABC 15's Elizabeth Irwin going in depth with somebody who lives there, but now really has no home to go back to.
Yeah, Elizabeth, how much faith is he putting in this?
Well, Stephanie, Steve, tonight he has hope. Hope the governor will convince the federal government to change its decision. Now, when I first met Robert Westall, he had just learned his home was destroyed, and I can tell you the past few months have been just terrible for him.
It's entirely and completely ravaged. There's nothing left of what there was.
Robert Westall was home when the Yarnell Hill fire started.
You know how you open that oven when you're making cookies or a cake or something like that, and you feel that blast of heat? That hit me in the back.
He stayed as long as he could, tried to protect his property.
You could see this thing coming. It was the most frightening thing I've ever had happen to me, period.
Then realized if he wanted to live, he needed to leave. This is what he saw when he got back.
Well, it basically burned my house down, everything I owned, killed my pets, my animals. It basically took my life away entirely, every bit of it.
It's been an exhausting road for Robert, living with the guilt that he's alive because 19 men aren't. Learning the home he grew up in no longer exists.
My insurance is not going to cover my losses. It's going to cover my structure and it's going to cover some of my personal things, but it's not going to cover everything, period.
When he found out the federal government wasn't going to help, it was more than he could handle.
I'm paying my taxes. I live here. I would assume that when something like this happens and it's this bad, that somebody's going to help. And to this date, we haven't gotten any.
Robert says the only help he's gotten since the fire destroyed his home came from the Red Cross. He's hoping the federal government hears Yarnell's cries and changes its mind. Certainly a long road ahead for these folks.
Yeah, your heart just goes out to him, and there's so many other people in that same situation, and we hope that aid will come through. Elizabeth, thank you.